Liverpool versus Man City. It's the biggest game of the season. This is the final straw for Manchester City. You feel that a draw or even a win, which is very unlikely at Anfield, but those two results do keep City in the title race. I'm sorry, it's too early in the season, and that kind of 9-point advantage that Liverpool could potentially have isn't as threatening as what it could be if Liverpool win the game. And don't get me wrong, Liverpool are massive favourites to win this game. And if they go 11 points clear, I do feel that it's a massive, massive moment in the title race. Honestly, because I think Arsenal, the points difference between Arsenal, I don't look at Villa, I don't look at Chelsea, I don't look at Spurs. This is it for Liverpool, in my opinion. It's maybe the beginning of the end for Man City's ability to defend the Premier League title for 5 seasons in a row. And you have to look at certain things. I believe in football, in history, in patterns in football. I think football's a weird sport. Sometimes you can look at these kind of patterns of play and how things have gone down and take a lot of kind of knowledge from it. And you look at Man City's record at Anfield, one win in close to 20 years. Phil Foden had an unbelievable game. I think it was 4-1 in and around COVID. But City have had Centurion sides. City have had treble winning sides. Not been able to pick up big wins at Anfield. Very, very rarely since Nicolas Anelka did in about 2003. That's how long ago it is, except for that one in COVID. So then you're looking at Pep Guardiola's record against Liverpool. It's one of the worst. I think it's the worst side he's ever played against in terms of his record when he's played against a side over 5 times as a manager. So his record against Liverpool stinks. At Anfield, it stinks. At the Etihad and on neutral ground, it's decent. Don't get me wrong. But this is at Anfield. This is just where we're talking about. This is where we're playing. If it was the Etihad, I think it'd be a different kind of narrative. But at Anfield, the pressure. At Anfield, the way the Liverpool fans have seen Liverpool decimate the Champions League holders. And I know it was a side without Vinicius. I know it was a side that doesn't need to win the game in the same way with the new Champions League format. But it was still very, very impressive. And Jude Bellingham came out and said that they were the best club side in Europe, which I tend to agree with. The only thing for me would be the freshness for Liverpool. I know City played a lot of big names against Feyenoord and obviously drew 3-3, which was frustrating. But you could argue that Liverpool went 100% attacking and tried to dominate Real Madrid and put a lot of energy into that Real Madrid game. Is there a question mark about the fact that this Real Madrid game wasn't really that important? Because on some level, obviously you have to win the game and you have to try and win the game. But is there any credence to the idea that maybe Liverpool, the adrenaline would be really high after that performance, and there's maybe going into it with too much confidence? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, because Liverpool played a full strength side against Real Madrid. Then they have to go to Man City, and with Man City coming up, there's just a small argument that come the Man City game, these guys might be a little bit down in terms of pure energy. Maybe that's I'm clutching at straws. I know I am. I'm just wondering. I'm just debating. Man City have to go into this game with a back 5. This is my channel. I'm entitled to use my own strategic thinking about football. I know basically no City fan agrees with me. No football fan agrees with me with the kind of 4-3-3 system which has been so successful for Man City. Of course not. But I don't see how you stop the rot. If Rodri was fit, I'm obviously, even if we lose 50 games in a row, if Rodri's fit, you're not playing a back 5. Of course not. But you've got to look at the personnel. No Kovacic. You've got no Rodri, of course. You've got a potential injury to John Stones, potential injuries to Ruben Diaz. So if there are limitations in the central area of the pitch in terms of defence and midfield, this City side are going to have to adapt. Now, obviously, Guardiola doesn't do 3s or 5s very often. He has done them before a couple of times, and he has match sides. I remember him doing it against Liverpool. I think when Liverpool lost to City 5-0, I think there was a change mid-game, and there was a point where it was a kind of 3-4-3 at points on the pitch. So when I say back 5, I do look at it and think, can some of these defenders tuck into a midfield and kind of create 3 centre-backs that are narrow, protect Gvardiol, protect maybe Kyle Walker if you're playing right wing-back, and stick in Ruben Diaz if he's fit, Akanji, all these guys, Ake, get them all narrow, get them all tight, and just have someone like Bernardo Silva covering the midfield area. Mateus Nunes is going to be very, very important for this game, for his legs, for his energy. And then just wrap De Bruyne up. So you've got all the protection behind, a 5. Jeremy Doku, if he's fully fit, left wing back. Seriously. Kyle Walker, right wing back. Play all the centre-backs in the middle. Have that protection in midfield with De Bruyne completely free in and around Erling Haaland and trying to hit Liverpool on the counter-attack. This Liverpool side have proven in the last few weeks that, yes, he has built upon what Jurgen Klopp left. It's a high-energy side. It's a side that lives on adrenaline still, and they're trying to bully sides, with particularly with the atmosphere at Anfield, under the lights against Real Madrid. It was frightening. You look at some of his Real Madrid defenders, they look clunky and clumsy and nervous like they never had done before. So I still think this Liverpool side are relying on that Jurgen Klopp kind of energy, that kind of ethos of trying to bully and dominate sides with a kind of adrenaline and kind of all action, all out attack. But also at key moments in that Real Madrid game, this Liverpool side kept the ball very, very well. So City, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about a back five. This City side aren't going to have as much of the ball, even though in the 6 results previous, where City haven't won a game, 1 draw, 5 losses, a lot of possession for City, and I think that's going to change. I think that actually could play into City's hands a little bit, because City could just say, look, we're at Anfield, we're terrible, we've got injuries. Come and attack us, and then there'll be space in behind. Erling Haaland is a great counter-attacking striker. He doesn't get talked about enough, particularly at Dortmund as well. I mean, I remember some of the goals where he used to run the length of the pitch in the German league, and we don't see enough of that because City have always got the ball. Maybe this kind of solution that I'm talking about, eventually it probably will just be a back four, don't get me wrong, but just had this kind of ethos, Guardiola, if you're listening, to just sit back even further, just be completely conservative, ultra defensive if you're playing FIFA, ultra defensive, and allow Liverpool to be not naive, because I'm not saying they've been naive, they've been fantastic all game, all season, but be a little bit overconfident, be a little bit overzealous. See if you can get a penalty like how Real Madrid got. Because City are going to have attacks against Liverpool. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be all-out attack for Liverpool. There will be moments. Can this City side be a little bit more pragmatic with when those moments occur and apply maximum pressure? Hold on at the start of the game. Keep it completely negative, completely pragmatic. In the final 10, 50 minutes of both halves, trying to attack, try and whip things in, try and use height. It's still a very tall Manchester City side. The powerful centre-backs, Mateus Nunes is a big guy. Erling Haaland in the air. There's still a lot of threats there for Liverpool to think about. They've only lost to Nottingham Forest in the league, basically a perfect record in the Champions League as well. And how did Nottingham Forest do it? They had unbelievable wide counter-attacking play from the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White, I think it was, running through the midfield as well. You can get at this Liverpool back line. Andy Robertson gave away the penalty against Mbappe. The fullbacks aren't perfect, and obviously Conor Bradley's injured. Trent and Robertson, they're fantastic, arguably world-class fullbacks, but there definitely is that ball over the top. You could argue it's very similar to how Man City play that ball around the corner like Spurs were doing all week last week, all game last week, sorry. Then I think there is massive opportunities there for Man City against Liverpool. I still think you can play that ball over the top, but then Liverpool could do it to you and obviously lose 4-0. That is just the reality of the game. I'm worried about it. The only way City can hold on to this is try and aim for a draw. It's not the Guardiola way. And keep the season alive. Just try and keep the season alive. I know it's boring. Everyone wants 4-0 predictions. Liverpool have to go into this game and really believe it's believe it's April the 20th. Believe it's May the 1st. Believe it's right at the end of the season, and it matters because 11 points feels insurmountable. City could go on a winning streak of 17 games in a row and never catch Liverpool. That's how good Liverpool have been so far. They've justified the points lead. If I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm thinking we have to be beating this City side so low on confidence. Have to take chances, have to dominate the ball, keep possession in key areas, and don't give City a sniff. There is a chance, there is a glimmer of hope. I think if De Bruyne starts the game, I think if someone like Doku can get on the counter-attack, Savinho as well, Erling Haaland's got great pace in behind. I think it's just about the mentality. I think the City side have to go into the game almost believing that we're second best, almost playing into Liverpool's hands a little bit and trying to catch them out with naivety, if that's even possible. We don't even know if that's possible. I'm not saying that's likely. So this Liverpool side are unbelievable. They are massive favourites for this game in a way that probably I've not seen since the takeover, maybe. For at least 15 years, the Liverpool have been this clear favourites based on form. It's absolutely outrageous they've been. I'm going to go with the Liverpool win to predict. I've probably never done that on this channel, to be completely right. It's not reverse psychology. It would be a real moment, and the Premier League would have to stop and look and listen if Man City won this game. It would be huge. It would change the trajectory of this title race. Even if it made it a title race and Liverpool still went on to win it, it would change the narrative massively. That's how unlikely I think it's gonna. That's how unlikely I think a City win at Anfield really is. To be completely frank, I'm gonna go 2-1. 2-1 Liverpool. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe. Tons of Liverpool Man City content coming out. And I'll see you very, very soon.